boss who knows you have another life.
The Wall Street Journal is vital to every business day. Subscribe now and get 2 weeks of the Journal free with a paid 10-week subscription. That's 12 weeks for just 66 cents per day. Call 800-957-9600. That's 800-957-9600 for the Wall Street Journal.
Coming, an advanced weather forecasting center. Over 60 meteorologists monitoring, tracking, and anticipating weather changes. A comprehensive forecasting environment dedicated to keeping you informed and keeping you prepared. The Weather Channel Advanced Weather Center, coming soon. This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel.
This edition of WeatherScope is sponsored by Texas Department of Commerce Tourism Division. Texas, it's like a whole other country.
This is WeatherScope.
A storm system that's proven deadly over the weekend is once again creating potential danger in the south. Good morning, everybody. I'm Janine D'Adamo. Thanks for joining us. For the latest on the severe weather outlook, we'll go to Bob Stokes now in the Forecast Center.
You said it right, Janine. Severe weather continues to threaten the south. In fact, a tornado warning has just been canceled for Blount and Monroe counties in eastern Tennessee. That's in the Smoky Mountains. But just a little earlier, Doppler radar had indicated a possible tornado along Highway 441 along the Blount-Monroe County line. So we do have a very volatile situation in the southeast right now as a cold front moves in from the west, and we have a low pressure area in the region as well, and is creating a very unstable environment. In fact, a tornado watch remains in effect generally for the greater Atlanta area, stretching into the eastern part of Alabama. Now, this is in effect until 10 o'clock Eastern time, so be mindful of that. A watch, as you may very well know, means that atmospheric conditions are ripe for the possible development of tornadic activity, and so please bear that in mind, because we've had some severe thunderstorms, and even though a watch was not in effect for this part of Tennessee, there was the sighting, the possible indication of a tornado. So please bear that in mind as you travel along I-75, for example, this morning between Chattanooga and Atlanta. Now, one reason we have a cold front in here, you can see the cooler air off toward the west, and that's moving toward the east, and also a flow of very warm and moist air coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. Atlanta, for example, right now it's 71 degrees, so that's creating an unstable environment across the southeast. And we're expecting perhaps in the Carolinas into northern Georgia today is where we could see some severe weather develop as this low moves toward the east and northeast. In the meantime, there's the wet weather associated with the low pressure area, and we're seeing some very heavy rain over eastern Kentucky where flash flood warnings are in effect. Also flash flood warnings in effect for Hancock County in eastern Tennessee and Lee County in the southwestern part of Virginia. So bear that in mind if you have travel plans going through those two regions this morning. In the meantime, we do see some thunderstorms still remaining active over the eastern part of Tennessee, over the Smoky Mountains right here. These are lifting toward the northeast rapidly. In fact, up to 70 miles per hour at times, some of those individual thunderstorm cells. So we could see some damaging winds at times. In the meantime, here's a look at the greater Atlanta area. We do have a line of thunderstorms to the south of Rome, but fortunately these do not appear extraordinarily severe at the present. But the atmospheric conditions are such that we could see some explosive developments at any point in time, so please bear that in mind, and the potential for damaging winds. In fact, this storm system has already produced 65 mile per hour winds in Alabama during the wee morning hours near the town of Russellville, and you can see the wet weather over Kentucky, and they've just been deluged the past few days with very heavy rains. Thus, the flood warnings are in effect for portions of eastern Kentucky this morning, especially for those low-lying areas where numerous roads are underwater. Now, today's unstable weather conditions follows a pattern that has brought death and destruction across parts of the South this weekend. The worst in a series of disasters was in Arkansas. Cleanup of the massive damage from Saturday's tornado is just getting underway. At least 24 people were killed. Heaviest damage was in the college town of Arkadelphia, about 70 miles southwest of Little Rock. President Clinton declared a wide area of Arkansas a disaster area. He plans to view the damage in his home state tomorrow. Well, let's just have silent thoughts for those individuals struggling with that disaster. In the meantime, let's take a look at a map we have of the tornadic outbreak that occurred over the weekend. Look at this. Numerous tornadoes from Kentucky into western Tennessee, into Arkansas, Arkadelphia, about right here where, of course, the greatest claims to life took place, and indeed in northeastern Mississippi, at least one fatality was reported there, as you may know if you tuned in this weekend. In the meantime, what can we expect through midnight tonight? This is the area we're watching where we could see some severe weather over the Carolinas, perhaps Charlotte in this area of North Carolina, a populous area, and indeed the Atlanta area. So we're going to be watching that carefully for you and keep